Hi, Sven here. I want to quickly show you some of the changes we made to our form builder application in our 5.35 release. So here I'm in the edit form interface, and one thing you'll notice right away is that we've exposed the required validator right here. So you no longer need to go in under validators and click the required field. This is the most common used validator, so we found it very handy to just have it here for quick access. The other new change that we added, well, there's two actually that are relevant to this. It's to do with email notifications. So we have two new triggers. First one being the email submission notification. Here, if you type in an email, so to that email, we would send a notification each time somebody submits a form. The email body would contain all of the form submission details. So you can immediately see in your email all of the information from that submission. No need to log into Webany, go into the form builder, find the submission to see the details. So it's a simple email notification, but very handy. The other email notification is the thank you email notification. Now, for that to work, you need to have an email field in your form. Now, if I were to remove this field, that trigger would throw an error, right? So I need to return and add back the email field. That email field is required because this email notification is sent to that email. So technically to the person that is filling out the form. And here you can control the subject and the content of the email that we'll be sending. In the email content, you can use variables. We use variables to personalize then the content, and now you can add more content after that. But the variables will be replaced with the values from the form. So fields dot the variable name, this name represents the field ID. So if I go under edit, you'll see this field ID, right? So the value of this field would be replaced in my email message here, making the message more personalized. All right, so now let me go back to the list of forms and a couple of things that we've changed here. First of all, this list of submissions. Now I only have one submission, but if you had a couple of hundred submissions, you'll notice that there's no more pagination here. Instead, we replace the pagination controls with an infinitive scroll, making it more intuitive for the user. The other thing that we did here was when you open the form submission details, we've added the copy as JSON and copy as CSV buttons. What these do is when you press, it copies this form details, the form submission details, to your clipboard in a JSON format in this case, or if I click this one, it's going to copy it in the CSV format, so it's easy to handle in utilities like Excel and similar. And finally, the other change that we added is it's not a change, it's a new feature, is the ability to both import forms as well as export forms. And you can select which forms do you want to export all, or just specific forms. It's much easier now to move forms from one environment to another, from one system to another. You just export them, click of a button, you can select which revision you want, and it's going to start the export process. Once the process is done, you can get either an archive or a URL that you then paste into another Webany environment, and that other environment would pick up all of the form fields, all of the settings and everything, and would recreate your forms on that other side. So there's a couple of more under the hood changes, but for that, I suggest you check out our changelog. I hope you're going to appreciate these changes. If you have any feedback, you can reach to us on our Slack community. That's it for me. Thank you for your time.